they close.
Well, the all's well that ends well ending is now basically put in pencil, but it hasn't been inked. You're right. They haven't been able to close the game out here. They found a way to move the game forward. The plot development has come, but have we seen now the charge towards the end of the game? Because there's still work to be done. They all come in the same lane. It's still going to be tricky to break turrets.
Definitely is. HKA turn their eyes towards their second dragon of the game, and Ocean will be secured by them pretty easily. Let's have a quick look across where we are in terms of items. 10 stacks Medgides on Kai Wing, and HKA aren't going to give us time to talk as Svenskeren loses a third of his health to a single Q. Sneaky getting chunked out as well. Zeyzal trying to be the bouncer. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Nisqy is pushing in on this Irelia, and Cloud9 are acting as bouncers for them.
Yeah, finally getting some sort of a side lane advantage there. Nisqy knocking down a turret. Cloud9 are going to try to shepherd in this mid lane where the inhibitor is already down, have the pressure of those super minions, and then look to get an advantage on this side. You can see Nisqy's up in the top lane. Svenskeren and Licorice are going to be kind of this roaming squad to try to draw in HK and attack where they're weakest.
Yeah, wave clear against Baron. Leaves a bit to be decided. Only Tristana can help in that particular gamut. Final winding comes in. 30 seconds left. The gold's there, but the turrets, that's the thing they're most hoping for. Gonna avert them for now.
And I mean, honestly, if you don't take down another inhibitor with this, you're kind of just back to start. You're kind of just back to waiting for the next Baron and trying these plays that have not been working for Cloud9 once again, because they have shown the unwillingness or the inability to play out the game in a different manner.
Turret down to half HP here in the top lane, though. Those minions are chipping away at it bit by bit. 3Z in the mid lane, going to try and keep these super minions at bay. But C9 very happy just to wait this one out. Another wave coming in, the Baron about to fall off. And you expect when that does, perhaps Cloud9 will back away. They have got a big wave in the mid lane, so perhaps could stay around for one more push. Unified going in, Svenskeren's dead. Zeyzal maybe short to follow as well as the final chapter coming out. Sneaky was rooted in place, Crash looking for the chase, but there's two for Unified. They've already taken down 3 now, and C9 have collapsed. They overstayed in the top lane. Nisqy trying to put the Vanguard's edge down, but he's getting chased out. GA popped, and perhaps pop goes C9's hopes of closing out this game.
Yeah, Hong Kong attitude gonna wipe them off the map. 4 kills going the way of HKA there. A huge fight for them as they make the base defense happen. The Baron for naught. Cloud9 only gets the one inhibitor in the mid lane. They are not able to deal a death blow here to HKA, and we are back to start.
Watch the replay of this attempt to close the Creed as they remember Baron buff recently going down. Flopped down onto Svenskeren. Was that Garen ultimate? Double kill comes through, and Sneaky does not have Zhonya still in this play, so he offers very little towards the tail end. GAs go down, efficiency is gone, and it's actually a little bit different in the layout there is there. We're not back to stage 1 because this catch has a very compelling read. 18 stack Medgides.
Yeah.
This is an insanely strong Yuumi, and can actually just go flat pen and say, well, I'm gonna pile on the death.
I mean, I actually completely agree with you, and Tristana as well. You know, we're almost full build here, right? Sitting on the last Whisper, that can be upgraded. Excellent Bloodthirster is done, and now, yeah, the upgrade comes through. This is a fully build mission here on this Tristana. That is absolutely frightening. You know, thankfully for Cloud9, he does complete the Zhonya, so that does come through for him. But, you know, they certainly have shown that, yes, the early game, great. Give them a check for that. Yep. But this is something that, you know, becomes much more difficult. I actually do believe that hibernating in the later stages is really such a different playstyle compared to the marksman. It's very difficult to close out the game properly, and we're seeing that Cloud9, well, maybe they had the early game down, they certainly don't have this stage of the game figured.
And that's why we can kind of go back to what I was mentioning about the Heimerdinger kind of two sides of the coin. Are you a Heimerdinger aficionado or not? I would say his laning much more impressive than we expected, but can Cloud9 win games with Heimerdinger? That leaves a lot to be desired.
I think we've moved from a position where we said a convincing win here for Cloud9 would be good in the state of Group A for them. That ship has sailed. We're now debating, will they get third in this group? Will they actually be able to put up any sort of fight against G2 and Griffin later on? We'll see. It's only day 1 for this team, but now the final chapter's coming out from Hong Kong Attitude. Crash has already fallen. Unified force back. TP coming in. Licorice is going to join the fight, and 3Z isn't there yet. They're not back. Hisky's taking down. Mission goes unstoppable. but Mission will fall, and C9 find the fight they want in the mid lane. Unified and Kai Wing trying to run away. 20-page death book for Kai Wing is doing a lot of work. 3Z going to join the fight, but for now C9 have just backed off.
Yeah, Cloud9 looking to move up towards this Baron. HK had done such a good job of absorbing engages, but when they tried to engage there, they did give Heimerdinger that wing. They pile into the turrets, the ultimate turret he's down from Sneaky. He had the Zonias. We'll see, can Kai Wing poke them off this Baron though?
Sneaky, no flash, no Zonias. 3Z stepping forward, Kai Wing there as well. Baron goes down, but have Cloud9 sacrifice their lives for it. Unified still healthy, 3,000 HP on him. Sneaky goes low, no flash remember, but he's going to back in the back of the pit. Unified being chased down, the final chapter coming out once again. Unified will take the kill as Kai Wing gets one. Now he's going to jump onto 3Z. Heals him up with the zoomies, exhaust goes down on Licorice. Kai Wing jumps out, gets the kill back. Licorice on a double kill though, and Kai Wing has nowhere to go. C9 finally find the fight.
Cloud9 will get their kill, will get their Baron. The Elder Dragon is also up, but there's pings from mid lane. They want to try to run this one down. 50 seconds on the timer for 3Z. The question is, do you go mid lane inhibitor then to Elder, or do you take the risk to look to end this game?
The Cloud9 have made their choice, but with Mission alive, it is going to be tricky. The cat finally falls. All of this with Akali not being able to respond during that hard engage onto Heimer. Sneaky walks up, and here we go. Death timers still in double digits.
I think Cloud9 just wanted the mid lane inhib. Didn't
Yeah.
want Licorice to be forced back, but he was there by himself.
Yeah, it will be a move to the Elder. They take down that mid lane inhibitor once again here, and will look to grab this Elder. And remember, this is a double Infernal squad, so you're getting even more APAD injected to these nearly full builds here for Cloud9, as well as the true damage burn, which is going to be very effective, especially on this Heimer, who can poke and apply not only that Leandry's buff and burn, but this big Elder Dragon burn.
But we get one more team fight. Cloud9 and Hong Kong attitude.
You can do it, Medic. I believe in you.
Exactly, Medic. You got those big lungs. You're ready.
2 minutes on the Elder, 40 seconds on the Baron. C9 pushing in, but Hong Kong attitude, last chance saloon, last defense you have to feel. Inhibitor tower takes a little bit of damage as Svenskeren is finally going to run the team. It's down to half. HKA, you've had a couple of good fights over the last few minutes. Can you find another one? Can you pull a rabbit out of the hat?
Yeah, Licorice shoving in the mid lane, but they're looking to threaten a dive. Remember, this true damage burn may be what they need to push them over the edge, and that is a bad Zonias from Crash.
Crash pops the stopwatch, but manages to survive. In the end, Sneaky takes him down, and Hong Kong attitude are getting decimated in their base. 3Z trying to do something about it, but he's in the Twilight Shroud. Pops his stopwatch, goes golden, jumps out, but Licorice is on the chase. Cloud9 should just look for the Nexus, should just look for the win. It's taken them probably 20 minutes more than it needed to, but now those Nexus towers are the target. Unified on the front line with Kai Wing, he's spinning, but he's not doing too much winning right now. Kai Wing's going to jump back onto mission, but the Nexus will fall, and Cloud9 will eventually take their win.
It wasn't pretty, it wasn't quick, but a win is a win is a win, and Cloud9 will start out the group stage 1-0.
I have a saying in the LCK, exquisite performance, never in doubt, beautifully manicured victory for Cloud9. They took down Hong Kong attitude on this day, and if you never watched the VOD, you can remember it now.
And Papa Smithy, we have a saying in NA.
What is it, Assail?
We take those.
I did Cloud9 right? Like, it was a poor performance. They couldn't work out the Rubik's Cube of how to fight against
There are some
Unified
kinks
and
to
Kai
work
Wing.
out, it's fair to
Definitely
say.
some things to work on, but a win is a win is a win. And in the end, that win will stay there for the rest of the world's history.
Certainly will. And really, you're kind of left with some questions here, though, right? Certainly, Cloud9, does have the flexibility to pick up the Heimer, but do they go back to something like this without a traditional marksman in another role? Do they say, yeah, okay, the Heimer was good, but we needed Tristana mid to actually make that happen? Because the early and mid game was strong, but they certainly failed to actually close out this game, and I think it was largely due to the strength of this Garen Yuumi and Cloud9's inability or unwillingness to actually play side lanes and just constantly trying to force those fights.
And that's what I hope that C9 can decouple from this really battling victory over Hong Kong attitudes that I thought Sneaky was a good friend. But overall, I think not chose to go to that rod. They couldn't play the kind of style he had. It all fell apart. So but definitely learning here. And maybe not the biggest solution to actually take this strategy.
Especially when the other teams in your group are G2 artists, you need to make sure you're making minimal mistakes, if not no mistakes. You're really going to some of the best teams.
Yeah, it certainly is the case, but you can't read too much into just one.
Oh, I can, Azael.
They got the
I
win
can read a
here
lot.
today, but there are adjustments that need to be made. But we have seen that across the first 7 teams for a lot of teams. One, but obviously, they have had that result.
They really do. That's it from us for now. We're going to hand over to World.
Thank you very much, and welcome to World's Cooldown. I'm Quickshot, joined by Raz and Jack. I was wondering where the camera came from, actually. Welcome to World's Cooldown. Jack, sweating a little bit after the late game there from Cloud9. What did you think? Always was.
I saw it.
You knew.
Man, look at this guy.
Look, let's talk a little bit more about the game, because the way it started and the way it ended could not have been more different. Cloud9 came out of the gate swinging. I really liked how they approached the early game, but the last pick guarantee was just caused so much
because non-sustained damage team against what, after seeing enough games of Garen Yumi now, I'm willing to call probably pretty busted. With the way it just sticks around. That was 2 games we saw today where Garen Yumi was down like 3,000 or 4,000 in the early game and then just seemed to control the map throughout most of the things.
Yeah, I think that what Garen provides post-nerf, because even thinking about how large of a slow that she initially had made it crazy. It's just the cooldown.
Yeah.
Cooldown on Q is huge with the damage that it was coupled with. Also, the ultimate that is constantly flowing through after every fight is insane.
So I do want to break this down in the context of like a bigger meta a little bit later, but what do you think about the draft? Because Garen Yumi, we've seen Fnatic they first pick it. This AKA draft was response. It was the last 2 after seeing no Kayle, no Vayne, no AD carry, no sustained damage. First, and then obviously the value gets significantly higher.
Yeah, I think if you don't think Garen Yumi is going to be contested, picking at 4-5 is actually really smart because you could see that Cloud9 actually already locked in the Heimerdinger in phase 1 of the draft. So they weren't going to be able to have the sustained damage coming through, which potentially I think would have allowed HKA to have a good game. I actually thought that Mission misplayed some teamfights in the mid and late game that could have actually led to victory, and C9 was able to pull it out, as they usually do at the World Championship. When I pull back in history, they have a lot of these games where teams they actually should beat, they squeak through, but they seemingly always win. It's weird.
What did you make of Niski? One of the things that I really liked when we talk about Cloud9, 7th World's appearance. I believe Sneaky was, 70 World Championship games played on the stage. Niski's debut, and I thought he looked pretty good on the Akali.
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty solid. I think overall, Niski on the Irelia, it's a melee champion for Niski. It's what he's specialized at, and I think as long as Cloud9 continue to enable him to play these mobile, side lane, soul lane champions and back it up with powerful early game jungle defense care, that's their bread and butter. They're going to win, it's going to do that.
Yeah, I like the fact that we play through Svenskeren as, once again, I just wanted to see domestic, C9 in an international event. I didn't want to see any drop-off, and I think that just from the framework of Niski and Svenskeren, I got to say Licorice is one. You got outplayed once, topside, find that kill. But it seems like the vernacular that they can really handle. Probably really just find the one.
Slightly like obscure thought, but do you think it's fair to say from how we saw the game play out, how it always felt like Cloud9 were in control, and it felt like what they were fighting against wasn't the team of Hong Kong Attitude, because it felt like they were the better team. It felt like they were playing the OP-ness of Garen Yumi.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
It could just be our read on it, because I'm much more familiar with Hong Kong Attitude.
Right.
I've seen them in the play-in, and I actually haven't seen that much Garen Yumi, though. It really did feel, though, like it was just Garen would go wherever he wanted, and it's a front line in a summer split where teams haven't been able to have a front line. So it was like, oh, this is what team fights like. This is what front to back fights like. And Garen just does that when he has Yumi.
And even just focusing more on the comp that was there, because while people would say that Heimerdinger would have sustained damage, it's not followed sustained damage. Like Garen just peeked out, that's about
Exactly.
it, right? And the only ones who can follow and kind of pursue the Garen is the Aurelia, and now suddenly you're trading HP against that. So
Sorry to cut you for 1 second. Again, the interview is ready. I'll come back and talk a little bit more about how this is playing out at LoL.
guys, Love here, and joining me right now is Nisky after Cloud9's first victory in the group stage. Congratulations on this one. You're back in Europe. This is also your first time going to Worlds. How special is it for you?
I don't know, to be honest, I feel like it was just another game and I don't even feel like we're at Worlds now. I mean, the pressure is for sure higher than like, yeah, I mean, it's just
Let's talk about this first game because you had the edge in the early game and then we knew that with the combinations they had, they would be stronger as the game go. You had the good vision control and you had the nice side lane wave set up as well. So what made it difficult for you to come back on top in the end and how did you overcome them knowing that they had this game in the end?
to be honest, after the early game, we tried to force some stuff. Like, we got every dragon, rift, and then once Nash found, we tried to play around it, and then there are like two champions that were always checking it, so we couldn't do it. And then at one point we're like, okay, we're just gonna flip it, and then I think Sneaky got the Nash, and yeah, that just unlocked the game, I guess.
Teams struggle really hard against Garen and Yumi, which is understandable. You have several answers, such as Vayne, but do you feel like next time you should ban these champions, at least Garen?
That's up to my coach, that's not up to me, so...
Well, we'll see what Reapers decides now. According to history, Cloud9 makes it out of groups. I feel like you don't have the easiest group to do it, so what is your take on that based on what you saw from the teams in your group? Red Kayn, G2, and HKA right now.
I mean, I think it depends on how we perform individually, I think, because the thing scary about G2 and Griffin is that they have really good individual players, so I think if we can keep up with them or just even like outclass them, then we'll make it out of groups for sure.
We'll see that in the next coming days. Thank you very much, Nisky. Welcome back to Europe. Now back to you guys.
I love hearing from Nisky. Not the most confident of answers about Cloud9 making out, but very earnest and fair, very strong individual players. Let's take a look at the standings from today and talk about some of the other games that are now in the history books. Pretty confident, clean win from G2. Team Liquid not being able to take down Invictus. What else stands out for you, Rex?
So, yeah, you already mentioned Invictus Gaming. I think the kind of takeaway that I have here is that ID is back. You know, for me, everyone was...
They are back, but that's to play the game.
Okay, come on, man.
I didn't love that. See a loss.
It's not there.
I don't see a loss.
It's not there.
Yeah.
But like, when I say back, I mean, the questions for Invictus Gaming when they were coming in were specifically about individual players, specifically Rookie.
I didn't expect results-based analysis from the two of you today. No.
But like, if we dig deep into the game, Rookie almost had a 30 CS advantage in the mid lane.
Right.
The Shy had that solo kill, even like multiple solo kills actually, even with all of the pressure that Smithy put up into the top side of the map. And
We haven't even talked about RNG SKT yet.
That's true. And so like, we had a lot of great games today. And I know a lot of people were talking about Group of Death for Group C. Group C is a very hard group, and all of it was coming down to the eye test of how good IG would look when they come into the group, and how Team Liquid would kind of come into Worlds, what form they would look like. And both of them look damn good.
Aside from that fight, TL was fine. Aside from that fight, TL was completely fine. No, IG, I thought the way, just kind of going back through the day, the way SKT won,
Yes.
I thought was impressive because they switched strategies mid-game. The way G2 run, I think was impressive because they play champions you wouldn't have expected them to play, yet still won very quickly. We'll get into that game as well, but overall, just a day of games that didn't actually seem like there was a big upset. There were the close matchups that were relatively close. I think G2 won their close matchup more than I expected them to by. But other than that, I think the predictions we ended up doing, I think I was 5 of 6.
Yeah.
Which one did you get wrong?
What do you think?
Well, see, I forgot it would have been 6.
I think I had a perfect record.
Oh, there we go. So we actually verifying. I love
Yeah.
Not gonna flip-flop the same.
How are they gonna do that?
Okay, but look at this with it. All right, you're thinking long term, you're looking at the whole group stage. One of the topics that we were talking about before we came on air was expectations of what was going to happen at Worlds versus the reality that we've seen. So we've got the planning stage, 2 days of groups, every single World Championship participant. The first topic I'm going to ask is of Garen Yumi, which is today. Fnatic, I did not have much faith in them when they fell behind heavy. but then Garen Yumi gave me the confidence back. It didn't work yesterday for the squad, but like, let's get some thoughts on the specifics of the combo.
So they played their comp poorly. Like I looked at the Garen and Yumi, and while it was great, their composition was, their strength of it was in the Akali and Shen, that they should be on side lanes at all times. That, in fact, if they were team fighting up against that squad, that I actually favored a lot of the kite back potential that Clutch had in that game, and it was messy because it was supposed to be messy from Clutch. I think that that was unfortunate from Fnatic's side. Of course, they ended up picking up that win anyways. While in this Garen Yumi game, you had the Tristana, you had the sustained damage. I actually love the team fighting. That it just came down to execution, of course. So I think that is a strong pick.
So I hate watching this because it's hard to see like the great display of skill. Garen is no skill shots, just runs around. It's all about positioning, hard to judge. Yeah. And then Yumi, you're never really wondering how much healing and shielding it's doing until you look at the charts afterwards. But it's a lot. And some teams had picked this up in summer split, specifically in the EU, and then they had to question whether or not they were going to drop it because Yumi got nerfed a lot. But what didn't necessarily get nerfed that much is the speed, the haste, the heals, and the damage. The slow was the biggest nerf that ended up getting the linear kill bomb, which actually I think
The least impactful thing that we've seen today. Do you think that's fair?
well, Garen is so good.
Yeah.
And I just keep seeing these teams not be able to kill Garen, and Yumi wins the war of attrition.
Can we zoom out a little bit? And in today's games and yesterday's games, I've been a little surprised at the pace, the speed. I was hoping a little bit more for summer split, skirmishes, like a bajillion flex picks everywhere, and I know there's been multiple patches, right? But talk me through your thoughts on what expectations were before.
Yeah, we asked for this. Games are about 2 minutes slower than summer split for the teams attending. This is the average of the teams that are attending. I think a lot of it has to do with I know Yankos had that interview after, but actually I think based on what he said today.
A lot of people believe you could see. Like yesterday, a lot of people were running questions and making conclusions of IG versus their opponents in that one, and I felt like, you know, I looked at that and said that, you know, they should be able to beat you. So, split, later on, they were strong. Domestic find themselves in a lot of areas in one game. Like, so they a lot of the time they don't know how to close.
Average combined kills per minute. In terms of the action, the bloodiness of the game.
It wasn't the same, but I think craziness, or like as much flexible craziness, or not seeing necessarily big time critical solo kills or a bunch of kills like that. Neutralizing a fair bit. And that one, if we're seeing a game like Kale, I think is from the Champions. Yeah, but in a lot of situations, I think it's what Razzie said.
You mentioned Champions as well. What about some of the expectations? I know during the late stage, we were super hyped about Echo from day one, and then we saw it, and then we were questioning it, and it's kind of disappeared. I don't know if it's fair to say we're expecting some more secret bots, but it's definitely popped up, right, infrequently, but my expectations basically coming in was a little higher. What about you guys and some of the other picks?
So I'll say this plays oftentimes based off of what they saw in solo queue that was succeeding, and a lot of these teams that have been so successful off skirmish, just really fighting out. Like watching the OPL teams or watching the Brazilian teams, just realized that, you know, when they went up against the better teams, oftentimes like Splice and Damwon, that, you know, they were just choosing their fights and not oftentimes getting what they wanted. It was like, okay, this is really frustrating to use the things that we had. So Echo was put on the bench, Gragas was heavily prioritized so they can get the fights that they wanted.
Yeah.
And now suddenly you're starting to see like Jarvan and Galio again, because that's like, starting the fight is important, setting the tone of the game.
Slower early games keep happening. I wonder if we'll see more Karthus jungle.
Say that again?
Karthus jungle.
I
feel like we might see more of that. And more largely, I'm curious to see like what this tells us about our projected favorites for the tournament.
Yes.
If G2 can to have Caps on Orianna and Wonder on Ornn and look like that, they'll be fine. But that's a one-game sample size of them going to the champions versus a year of them playing completely different stuff in the lost.
Yes.
So I feel like if we game games like this, more really
right? How much does the world's meta evolve over yeah. But then speaking of who's the first one to get there, who's the first one to break this, or find the optimal thing to do this like team fight.
That's a great question, and I feel like even watching Invictus Gaming today, I feel like I'm so far from figuring that out. Because when I saw them pull out the Olaf, it's like, oh right, like in LPL playoffs, it's like Olaf is such an LPL pick, and it was so successful in that region, but not really finding ground in like the LCK or LCS in some ways. And then I was like, well, suddenly the Gragas pick and the Lee Sin pick that we've seen so frequently is put under danger if you don't see that as a viable blind pick and that Olaf is there and available.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be seeing more of these teams go up against each other, especially in the knockout stage, and we'll start getting our hands.
Yeah. Back to like Worlds 2017, I remember Caitlyn ended up being a huge pick in week 2 of group stage.
Yeah.
I think the bigger shift will happen for stage 2. We only have a 1-day break, but the teams themselves will have multiple days off before they end up playing the onslaught of games to decide their group. So I think we'll see minor adjustments in the next 2 days, but the big change will be.
And it's very interesting as well because even the big changes, it is a day between, games for the first half of the second half. A larger break before the final. That's why I get very excited about what pivots will come. Let's talk about tomorrow's matches. Take a look at the schedule of games that we have on the double channel. I think the most start with the biggest game. Taking on Damn One Gaming. Why are you excited, my man?
I'm just saying, whoever makes these schedules always know where to put them. Right at the top. Right at the top. IG, Down One. I want to see that again.
Implying that only the top game is the best. All 6 are insane. Just
Damn One, TL, FPX, JT, Griffin, and G2.
yeah, easy, agreed.
Done.
On
6 for
board.
6.
On board.
Nailed those
Oh my
predictions.
Now, are you 100% certain that those were the predictions that you logged in your
100%.
And you're not going to flip-flop on us?
Nope.
You have a tendency to do that, my friend.
Yep.
What do you want to see from the teams coming in tomorrow? You know, some pivots, some changes. Like Damn One have still impressed me on. It doesn't matter what champions they play. Every game, there's something that's like, wow, that was cool. That felt awesome, right?
Yeah.
But like, what are some of the thoughts when you think about the teams?
I'll say specifically for Down One, like the one point that I always want to track, because I always love tracking the players that have the right culture, or at least everyone goes down. Specifically Nuclear. Because at the end of that game where he just like jumped straight in, got a huge burst on a champion, and the reaction time of the rest of his team, like they knew that that was going to be the case, that they had his eyes on him. Like, I'm seeing confidence in that. It's very rare to see confidence in a player that is oftentimes like publicly being thrown down the bin. So I actually think that just that alone, I love it. I want to continue to see that. So
No offense.
I think Nuclear is a great case study for this. I feel like imprints of your memories of a person and a player last a very long time in League of Legends. I think one of the reasons why people are saying he's bad is because they remember him on H2K.
Yes.
If this was, if his name was Nuguri, right? How good would he be? He'd be like, that weak side AD carry though. Right? Or like, I think that could actually happen. I don't want to be that guy that says like, oh, a winning team, everybody is good. But I hear you. I feel like Nuclear is being remembered from the past, not from what he's done.
For me, it's a timing element. They need to be good, better, best for a longer period than being bad. Gambit was my example. Gambit started to suck for a long time. I was one of the early adopters saying they're bad now because the moniker of Moscow 5 ended. But look, we do have to call it a day. Thank you guys very much. If you missed any of the action, make sure that you tune in for the rebroadcast starting at 8:30 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. for our friends on the West Coast. Choose the best call.
I kind of
do anything else with that kill. Lyra on the side, trying to find the cocoon. Has to get himself away now. Cody's up, root it up.
The Shy on the front line, forcing double lift away, and IGA able to survive. Shy, shockwave! With the shockwave, finds 3. Invictus Gaming find their fight. They find the Baron. They almost find the ace. Impact tries to flash away, but he is chased down with a killer instinct.
What we're learning is they're beautiful and sensitive. That's the duo right there.
Perks maybe overstepped a little bit here. Knocked back across the wall, right into the waiting arms of Sword. Do it by the numbers. G2 for the final hit. Then the Nexus Towers have to be the target.
Oh!
Shockwave, the solar flare, and Griffin lose 2 in a heartbeat. That's 3. Make it 4. Make it more. G2 scream.
Well, after our scrims, we decided that we would play a bit safer, and it worked out.
Baron goes down. Have Cloud9 sacrifice their lives for it. Unified still healthy. 1,000 HP on him. Sneaky goes low. No flash, remember, but he's going to back in the back of the pit. Unified being chased down. The final chapter coming out once again. Unified will take the kill as Kaiwing gets one. Now he's going to jump onto Dreezy. Heals him up with the zoomies. Exhaust goes down on Licorice. Kaiwing jumps out. Gets the shield back. Licorice on a double kill though. And Kaiwing has nowhere to go. C9 finally find the fight. Kaiwing's going to jump back onto mission, but the Nexus won't fall. And Cloud9 will eventually take their win.